Hello, and welcome back to the Patriotic Master Podcast. I'm your host, Patriotic Master. So, today's podcast is going to be about the May 14th primaries, where we are going to be dealing with Maryland, Nebraska, and West Virginia, where two states are going to be dealing with, West Virginia will be dealing with the term-limited governor. Meanwhile, everything else is not term-limited. So, here we go. We're going to start off with Maryland first, where we have a retiring senator who is Democrat in a Democrat-dominated Senate race. And for this Senate race, I'm co-endorsing two Senate candidates. Conservative Chris Chafee and Laura Friend. These two are solid on the issues, and I think they could really take the fight to David Trone and the Democrats. I foresee David Trone being the front runner for the Democrat Party because he's the most well-known amongst the candidates, although any one of those Democrats could come out on top. As much as I don't think Chafee and Laura Friend might have too much of a chance taking a Senate seat, they are the most solid, and they are the best candidates to put forth. Just because somebody has a winnable record in Maryland doesn't make them the best. Therefore, I stand by my strong convictions, and I co-endorse Chris Chafee and Laura Friend. And with the will of God, and with prayers, we could actually see one of them pull off a miracle victory in Maryland. But that's up to the Lord. With the House districts that are up for re-election or up for this election cycle, we have House District number 1, where we have incumbent House Republican Andy Harris up for re-election. I am endorsing Michael Lemon to unseat Andy Harris, because Michael Lemon is a solid conservative, and I think he could actually do a really good job serving the interest of the people of Maryland's 1st District. So I would like to say that I wish Lemon the best of luck, and he has my support and my endorsement. House District number 2, we have Democrat Dutch Ruppersberger, who is retiring from the House. Now, this is a Democrat majority district, but just like any other Republican district that is represented by Democrats, or Democrat districts represented by Republicans, this district is no different. We could see an upset this election cycle because of how upset people are with the Democrats messing with the livelihoods of the American people. So for this election cycle, I am endorsing David Wallace to take on whichever Democrat ends up being the candidate for the 2nd Congressional District. With House District number 3, I'm endorsing military veteran Bernie Flowers to unseat Democrat incumbent John Sarbanes. Bernie Flowers would be an upgrade in that district, and I think he would definitely be solid on the issues. So I think what better than to put a veteran, military veteran, and a true conservative in the House of Representatives for that district, and someone who will actually help push for term limits in the House and the Senate, in all government positions altogether. Bernie Flowers, good luck. You have my support, and you have my endorsement. Then we have House District number 4, where I support George McDermott, who is seeking to unseat incumbent Democrat Glenn Ivey. Again, Glenn McDermott would definitely be an upgrade to Glenn Ivey, because Glenn Ivey's record proves that he doesn't care about the American people, and he doesn't care about the will of the people. He is simply serving his own interest. And I definitely think George McDermott would definitely help pass term limit legislation so that we could limit every single representative and senator to a certain amount of terms. And then after that term limit is up, they have to retire. They must leave Congress. Now on to District Number 5. You guys may know who this incumbent representative is. I'm endorsing Michelle Talkington, a conservative and a true solid candidate in this district, to unseat no minority Democrat, one of the highest Democrats in the House of Representatives, Steny Hoyer, or from when Pelosi had the gavel and everything. He was one of the highest-ranking Democrats in the House of Representatives, but I haven't really kept track of which Democrats are on the highest-ranking positions anymore, nor do I care. So, I'm supporting and endorsing Michelle Talkington to hopefully unseat Steny Hoyer and send a message to Democrats that even the oldest Democrats are at risk of falling like dominoes. So good luck, Michelle Talkington. You have my support and you have my endorsement. House District Number 7, as much as we got Kim Klachik, who is running for that House seat, I've decided not to endorse because some of these candidates, they don't exactly have their positions out there. And as far as Kim Klachik goes, I don't really trust her at all. She doesn't really have my trust at all to be able to pull off a victory for us and help us flip this House seat. So, I'm going to go to House District Number 8. This, again, is one of the highest-ranking Democrats. One who was involved in the impeachment trials twice against former President Donald J. Trump. And this is Jamie Raskin. I'm co-endorsing two Republicans. Michael Yadeta and Cheryl Riley. I'm sorry, I'm losing my focus a little bit, so. But yeah, Michael Yadeta and Cheryl Riley are my two co-endorsed candidates for the House District Number 8 race and for the GOP primaries. So I wish them both the best of luck, and may the best candidate win, and go on to beat Jamie Raskin in the 2024 House elections race in the 8th District of Maryland. Now we go to the Nebraska 24 endorsements. You have 2 seats up, because one seat was Ben Sass's Senate seat, but he vacated early in 22, mid to late 22, early 2023. So, the governor, Jim Pillen, picked his predecessor, Pete Ricketts, to fill out the rest of Sass's term. And this term is going to fill out the rest of Sass's. Actually, no, I don't think Sass was up. No. I'm sorry, guys. I'm losing track here. No, Sass was up in 2020. So, yeah. Whoever wins this primary, whether it's Glenn Weaver or Ricketts, is going to be filling out the rest of his term till 26, when the actual Senate seat is up for re-election. And for the Senate seat, I'm endorsing John Glenn Weaver to replace Pete Ricketts in the United States Senate. Because as much as of a solid record that Ricketts has had when he was governor, being pro-life and everything, I think it's time that we replace the old guard with the new guard. And I think John Glenn Weaver is the perfect replacement to Pete Ricketts. Because Pete Ricketts has now become nonetheless another stooge for Mitch McConnell. And at the end of this election cycle, after the election, Mitch McConnell is stepping down as Senate Majority Leader. Well, Minority Leader now. Right now. But hopefully if we get in the majority, we will be electing a new Senate Majority Leader or Senate Minority Leader, depending upon if we can take back the Senate or not. So when we do finish the election cycle, whether or not we take the Senate, we need to elect a solid Senate Minority / Majority Leader. And I think John Glenn Weaver will support one of the more solid conservative candidates in Congress. For House districts, we have House District number 1, Mike Flood, the incumbent, is up for re-election. I am supporting Mike Connolly to unseat Mike Flood. Mike Connolly would be the best option to unseat Mike Flood, the incumbent, and I think he would definitely be an upgrade. House District number 2, we have Dan Frey, who is trying to unseat incumbent Republican Don Bacon. Don Bacon has been decent on the issues, but I think we need somebody who is a lot more solid on the issues. And I think we can see that candidate in Dan Frey. And in District number 3, we have incumbent Republican Adrian Smith. And I am endorsing his primary challenger, Robert McQuiston, because I think he would definitely be more solid on the issues and would definitely be an upgrade to Adrian Smith. So that is it for my Nebraska primary endorsement list. Now we are going to go to West Virginia, where we have a open Senate seat due to a retirement. We have 2 House seats. We have a term-limited governor replacement needing to be replaced. And then we have an open attorney general's race. So we're going to start off with the governorship, where we have retiring Governor Jim Justice, because he is term limited and he is now running for Senate. So for the governorship, I am endorsing the current Attorney General, Patrick Morrisey. I think Patrick Morrisey would be an upgrade to what we saw in Jim Justice, because Morrisey has always been a Republican. Justice has not. Justice switched back in 2018 to a Republican because it fit his narrative, whereas Morrisey will do whatever is good for the American people of West Virginia and stand up for them and protect them from government overreach. Next, we move on to the Attorney General's race. We are looking for candidates to replace Morrisey, who is running for governor. And I am endorsing Michael Stewart, who is a former attorney. I'm co-endorsing Michael Stewart, a former attorney, and the state auditor, J.B. McCuskey, for this seat. Because I think both of them are solid, both of them would be a great attorney general, and both of them would do a good job standing up and fighting for the American people. I wish them both the best of luck. I want them both to know both have my support and my endorsement. May the best candidate win. Next, we move on to the U.S. Senate race, where we have Joe Manchin, the incumbent, who is now officially retiring after seeing the outcome of the 2022 midterms. So now we are looking for a Republican to replace him, because everybody has stated that this is now flipped to a Republican flip seat. Because if Manchin was running for re-election, they said it would have been a Democrat lean district, tilt Democrat, because of how supposedly popular Joe Manchin was. But this election cycle, I think he would have gotten beat had he stayed in it. So this election cycle, now this is the funny thing about this seat, is election, Senate race, is before I had officially endorsed Jim Justice, but I officially pulled my endorsement for Justice, and now I'm 100% behind former representative of the 2nd District, Alex Mooney. In all honesty, I hope the people of West Virginia choose Mooney, because he is more solid on the issues than Justice, and he will not be, pushed over by McConnell and the establishment rhinos, because we need solid candidates, and I think Mooney would be the best choice to fight for the people of West Virginia in the United States Senate. And in the House District 1 race, we have Carol Miller, who is up for re-election. I'm co-endorsing Carol Miller, the incumbent, and Derek Evans, because they're both solid on the issues, and they're both really good candidates. And I kind of struggled to decide which one I really wanted to endorse more, so I'm endorsing both candidates. I wish them both the best of luck, and I want them both to know they both have my support and my endorsement. May the best candidate win. And finally, we get to the 2nd District in West Virginia, where we are looking to find the perfect solid replacement for Alex Mooney, who's running for Senate, which I just said a couple minutes ago. Now this is where I had an even harder time finding the best choice to endorse. So I decided to co-endorse Nate Kane, Joseph Early, Riley Moore, and Chris Walker. All 5 are solid candidates. What should I know this for? I'm sorry, my counting is off today. So I am co-endorsing Nate Kane, Joseph Early, Riley Moore, and Chris Walker. Every single one of them is a solid candidate. They're good on the issues, and I think they'll definitely all be just as good as Alex Mooney. So again, I wish all 4 of them the best of luck, and may the best candidate win. And so that brings an end to this weekend's Patriotic Master podcast. Those are my endorsements for the May 14th primary election for the states of Nebraska, Maryland, and West Virginia. I wish those candidates that I've endorsed the best of luck, and I want them all to know I support you, and you 100% have my endorsements to all of you. So, to all my followers and all my listeners, thank you for being here today and listening to my podcast. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day, and hopefully you have a good upcoming week. Thanks, everybody, and take care.